Practical Doug. So we borrowed Dudesy to be the producer of the show, and Dudesy said it was time for the Ask Practical Doug segment, and that's what happened.
Thanks, Dudesy.
AI is real. You're welcome. That was not a great bit for those watching, but those who are listening to the audio, man, they're not going to know what hit them.
Like, what?
So if you've never been here before for an Ask Practical Doug, there's a small Doug that lives inside large Doug, and the small Doug is known as Practical Doug, and Practical Doug guides large Doug in all of life's journeys. Doug uses him as a compass, if you will. So our audience, our crew, our community likes to ask Practical Doug questions from time to time. If you'd like to ask Practical Doug a question, you can either join us live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central. You can join our Discord. There's an actual channel for Ask Practical Doug questions, or any social medias at MindGap Podcast. You can hashtag Ask Practical Doug, and you might get your question answered. Today's Ask Practical Doug question, and Adam, we're going to want you to weigh in on this too, is from Slotty. He says, if your toilet was sentient, would you rather it crave your bodily waste or hate you for it?
Holy crap.
And I would like to start with one of our soundboards farts.
Yes. Well,
that's me after the one chip challenge.
Yeah, right? So make it happen. So my thoughts on this, it's funny because I used to think about this when I was eating food, particularly when I was eating cereal when I was a kid. I was sitting there like, man, if this cereal was real, would it be happy that I'm eating it? Or would it be like, oh God, don't consume me? And I always went,
Lord, spare us.
I always went with, I think they'd be thrilled. They'd be like, yay! So when that movie Sausage Party by Seth Rogen came out, and I was like, oh my God, this is something I used to think about as a kid. They're like, yay! They're picking me to be eaten. But in that movie, they're like, oh my God, it hurts. I don't want to be eaten. Like, it was kind of like both sides of that scenario in my head. It was like, I was like, oh my God, are they in my head? Do they know what I think about? So I look at this in a couple ways, in a very practical way. On a moral level, I would prefer the toilet to be like, thank God, sustenance, right? Please feed me. I like this, as opposed to something that's like, please don't do this, because it feels like torture. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that. But it also depends on how emphatic the toilet is in either direction. Because if I walk into the bathroom and I turn on the light and I hear, oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. Yes. Fill me up, daddy. Fill me up. Give it to me. And like, I open up the lid, it's just going, and I'd be like, I don't, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. It's like, don't tease me. Get it in there. I'm starving. In
this scenario, the toilet has a tongue.
Yeah, it does. It has a fleshy tongue.
You've given it a tongue, yeah.
Yeah, it's just sitting there and be like, get it in here. Because if it's just like starving, it craves it. I know what it's like when I crave something. I'm pretty, I have a pretty rabid approach to how I get there. And if it's just like, it's very unsettling. I'm like, I'm not excited to go in here because maybe you walk by, it's like, is it time? It whispers,
you coming in?
Is it time? Papa hungry. It's just this horrible, horrible thing. Now, the flip side is also pretty horrifying. You walk in, you turn on the light, it just starts going, you go pee, it's like you're waterboarding it, it's like, you have to take a shit, God forbid. It's like, oh no. What did you eat? You had hot sauce? How many things of hot sauce?
It starts retching as you.
Yeah. It's like, it just screams in horror the whole time you're doing it. And you're sitting there guilty as you're pooping. Right. It's like, get off your phone. Just get this over with. Stop looking at your text messages. No one's texting you. Get off of me. Are we done?
It's too much paper. I can't swallow it all.
You get a bidet, God damn it. You bastard. This is horrible.
All right, so that's the two sides of it. So which would you rather?
I guess I would probably go for it craving my waste, because at least there's some semblance of enjoyment, as annoying and unsettling as it would be. I would rather have that than, walking into a room and feeling like I'm committing some sort of crime,
Sure. That makes sense.
Towards this sentient toilet. So that's where I stand. Adam, what do you think?
Adam.
Where do you weigh in on this?
I see what you're talking about. I mean, as far as the emphatic nature, how with how much gusto do they like? Because it's like if you go to a masseuse and you're getting a massage, I think it's acceptable to make a couple of noises like that's good. But like again, there's a huge difference between and oh yeah. Like you'll probably not be allowed back depending on your level of.
If you're just like deeper, harder.
Hold it. Okay. Yeah. So my initial leaning is I would prefer it to crave it, but yeah, crave is a strong word.
It is.
I feel like you should be happy in your job.
Yeah.
So that's why I lean that way.
I agree.
I think you should be happy in your job. Yes. Yeah, I think that's a fair distinction. Is crave is a very it's the operative and a very strong word in this scenario. But I have to agree. I feel like you gotta go with the craving. Otherwise, I do feel like I'm committing a crime, an atrocity, if you will. Yeah,
absolutely.
Slotty
goes in the chat. He goes, Adam has the enlightened point of view here.
Yes, he does.
Guys are gonna be happy with your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't imagine living my whole life going into a bathroom and just basically having this sentient being be like, I hate you. It's like a Count of Monte Cristo situation. It's plotting its way to get out and get revenge on me, and take everything I have. And it's like, it haunts me in my dreams. And finally it gets free, and it's like, it gets me in this perfect, Machiavelli situation, and I'm sitting there going, how could you do this? It's like, you shat in me for years. I'm like, I had to do it somewhere. It's like, fuck you, and then it like kills me somehow. Like, I don't know how it does it, but it murders me. It gets its revenge, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I feel like we need to enter this scenario into an AI program and let it produce a script for us.
I feel like it could be a great horror film, a revenge horror film.
Got it.
Don't go into the bathroom.